Well, g'day chunky chili dudes and dudettes, and welcome to the season finale of Son of a Chunk. The chili hasn't fallen far from the tree. It is time. We are here today to make the hot sauce, and to do that, we've got a lot of things happening on this episode. So stick around, check it out, because we've just gone from seed to sauce right after this. And as the man says himself,
I'm a chunky chili dude. I'm on with the heat.
on with the heat. Let's get through it. Well, g'day chunky chili dudes and dudettes, and welcome to the season finale. Like I said, it has been a long time coming for season one's Son of a Chunk, the chili hasn't fallen far from the tree. Thank you for joining me on this absolutely adventurous season. I have been so excited to go from where we were to where we are. We have gone from seeds to almost the sauce. We are at the very end. We are at the deadline of this one. We are going to do some exciting things today. We have our bottles ready to go, pre-sterilized, and a really cool logo which we'll unveil at the very end once we've done all the stickering. We also have a blooper of what happened to the first bottle and also what's going to be coming next. You're going to be able to get these bottles as well. You'll be able to check out the website that we're going to be launching very, very shortly, so you guys can check out all the cool things that we're going to have ready to go. But first, let's get stuck into it. So, as you know, we have been fermenting our hot sauce for ages now. And in the last video, you would have seen we did our first ferment. Now, that first ferment is going to go over to today's video, and then our second ferment that we did is going to go over to the 2026 season. We're going to start doing some extra cool stuff. So, what are we at today? Well, Carolina Reaper Fermentation 1 is ready. We fermented it on the 18th of November, and at timestamp today, it is the 21st of December. We said 30 days. 30 days to ferment this hot sauce and see how we go. We're going to be doing a lot of cool things with this one today. We're calling this one the Sweet Death. Now, we are doing ourselves with Carolina Reapers and blueberries. Now, unfortunately, I am cheating for this last bit. We would have loved to have had our blueberries bloom because we were able to get ourselves a blueberry plant, but unfortunately the blueberries themselves aren't ready to go yet. So I wanted to finish this season off with a hot sauce and do a really nice, sweet and savory hot sauce. And unfortunately, I couldn't get the blueberries ready in time, so I had to cheat and go and buy some blueberries. But I promise you, next season, we will be 100% funding this whole thing from seed to sauce for everything itself. But we've done most of the hard work. 70% of the hot sauce has been grown in-house, ready to go. So let's get stuck into it. So what are we doing today? Well, it's a great question. We have ourselves apple cider vinegar, blueberries, Carolina Reapers fermented for 30 days. This is where the hot sauce is going to get intense. We're going to be checking it all through. I'll show you how to do it all from start to finish, and it's going to look insane. So I'm going to get everything ready, and when we come back, we're going to be good to go. Let's get into it. Right, so we're going to get into it right now. We're going to get stuck into it, but first and foremost, as always, make sure you glove up because we are working with some super hots. And when we work with super hots, that means we have to be very, very careful because under fermentation stages, it's going to get crazy. Now, you would see in the jar in front of me, there's a white ring around the top of the jar. It's nothing to be worried about. If it was fluffy, furry, and all shades of different colors, 100%, I would definitely be worried about this jar. But the good news is that it's just excess lactobacillus, which is something you're going to get a lot of with Carolina Reapers. They overgrow themselves with lactobacillus. So when you have a fermentation stage like we have just here, the things you're going to find is you're going to find excess lactobacillus on the bottom of the jar, which you can see down here, and also on the top around the outside. It's just the excess fattiness of the sauce itself. But we're going to get in now. When we do this, crack this open for the first time, you're going to have two choices that are going to come out of this. You're going to have a really bad smell, and you're going to know for a fact that that is a very bad hot sauce, and you're going to have to discard the whole thing, or you're going to have a very fruity smell, and that fruity smell means that you've got your hot sauce ready to go. That's a good smell. That's a really good smell. All right, let's take a beat for 2 seconds. I'm going to bring the camera over. You guys are going to see how it's all going to unfold. That way you guys get to see it all up in person, because we've got to do a lot of things. We've got to cook the sauce. We've got to add our berries. We've got to pasteurize the berries to get rid of all the excess bacteria into them. We're going to add them in. We've also got to add a exact same amount of apple cider vinegar to the sauce, so that way we have a good consistency. We'll measure it all up. All right, let's take a pause. Let's bring those leaves over so they all come down. When you come back, camera's going to be right. And camera. It's amazing what technology does these days. All right, so you don't have to look at my ugly mug for the next 20 minutes. So we have ourselves our pH level strips here. Now we want to make sure that our pH stays under 4. If it stays under 4, it means this thing is shelf stable, which is great. We've got ourselves our sauce bottle, big 500 ml bottle. I can't wait for you guys to see the logo at the very end. Comment down below, what do you think the logo is going to look like? If we're calling it Sweet Death, what do you think you're expecting to see? We have our apple cider vinegar, which is a nice organic apple cider vinegar, our fresh blueberries, grown in Australia, actually not too far away from where I'm living at the moment. They're grown, which is good. I'm not going to show you where, because then you'll know, and you'll steal all my chilies that are growing around the paddock. All right, so first things first, we need to get the chilies out of the brine. And to do that, we're going to strain the chilies out of the brine. So I'm just going to take that brine. Well, we might still use the brine up the track. Right, that is all that brine, which means that is all just chilies left. Oh, that is potent, but it's so nice. All right, move the brine over there, because we still could use that at some stage during this whole thing. Now, what we need to do is we need to weigh the chilies on what we have, so that way we know after we blended it, we know exactly how much apple cider vinegar we have to use. Now I'm going to keep a little bit of that brine in there, that's no problem at all, and make sure that this last weight comes out too. Oh, look at that. That is just, I don't know whether to laugh, cry, or everything in between, because that is just a serious smell. Oh, yeah, that's good. All right, so we have 250 mils, 254 grams of chili. So I'm going to put the chili back in the jar. I'm just going to move the weight out of the way for now. So 250 grams of chili in the jar. All right. Zero it back out. And now we're going to add 250 grams of vinegar. I'm going to add just 100, because I think that should be enough for now. There we go, 100 grams of apple cider vinegar. All right, now here comes the fun part. What you don't know is the chilies are going to get blended by themselves first, and I'm going to cook the berries inside the vinegar, and then we're going to blend it together. So chilies go in. Hope you can see that. I might just... So cap that on, and we're going to give it a nice little quick mix around. And now we have a mash. That is a blooper reel. Great. There's always bound to be errors and mistakes. Thomas Edison had 154 attempts before he made the light bulb, and I'm talking incoherently. All right, so we have our mash here. I'm just going to tighten that up so we know it's definitely in. Cool. So that is our Carolina Reaper mash, which is very, very nice. We're going to turn on our cooker here. Okay, so after a brief, I don't know what the hell just happened with the gas bottle, we are now going to blend our berries and cook them. And to do that, we're just going to crush them into the vinegar and cook them in the vinegar. So what we want to do is we want to make sure we get all of that, just all of them kind of exposed, so that way they can just cook through that sauce. All right, let's grab the next batch of blueberries. Crush them up as well. Again, we only need a little bit of vinegar for now, just for the blueberries to be pasteurized inside. And have a bit of fun with it, you know? You're inventing, you're creating new sauces. This is the cool part about all of this, is you're This is unknown territory for you, but also too, it's unknown territory for anybody who's willing to try your hot sauces, because they don't know what they're about to experience. You know, that's the best part about it is the palate is in its stages of what's about to happen to me. What am I about to put myself through? All right, I'm going to do a quick little leaf change, and when we come back, the blueberries will be done. All right, so they've just finished boiling, which means that they're all good to go. I'm going to let that rest for a little bit. That's a good color. Imagine that color through that sauce. That's going to be insane. So, blueberries are now setting. That's all resting and ready to go. We now have our mash ready to go. So the next stage is getting this in. Now, before we do anything else, and while the mash is still in its safest space possible, I'm going to deglove for a second. And I'm going to talk to you about fermentation and pH balances. Now, pH is a very important thing. If you get this wrong, you don't have a shelf-stable sauce. If you get this right, you can have a sauce up to 5 years at best. Add a pH testing strip. pH testing strip, as you can see, nice deep purple into that red color there, which means we have a 1 pH for the blueberries. But we don't want to be testing the blueberries, we want to test the sauce in whole. So this is the fun part. This is where we add the blueberries and the hot sauce together, blend, and then bottle. All right. I'm excited. I'm very, very excited about this next part. All right. So let's crack this bad boy open. Oh, I can't wait to taste test this thing. All right, let's pour the blueberries in. That color is insane. All right, this is going to turn into one hell of a hot sauce. Now let's make sure we seal it this time. So she's right. Let's go. That's that sound we wanted to hear, that consistent sound. Oh, that looks so good. My nose is already running. All right. That smells fantastic. Okay, so now here comes the fun part. We've already just put some of that sauce accidentally into the container, but that's no problem. What we're going to do now is take a pH testing strip. Now to use these effectively, it's as simple as you take, dip, remove the excess sauce off it, and then compare it to the side. Oh, I think I've just put water in. Of course, I've kind of bellowed that out, but that's okay. They are fine. Okay, so we're going to go in for a couple of seconds. Release and remove. And that is coming in, starting to darken its colors, which is good. Go. It is time to bottle and then taste test. Ah! All right, I can already feel every orifice of me bleeding and seeping. So let's glove up one final time. Yes, the glove count is probably at like 20 now. We have a sterilized bottle. I'm going to take the pH strip out, pop it here, and I'm just going to add the bottle in. So if we do make any mess, you know, Actually, that's why I brought this. That's why I brought this. We shouldn't have any spilling problems now. All right, so there is only one more thing left to do, and that is to taste test the new Sweet Death sauce. Now, as I said, it's a combination of the vinegar, the salts, the brine, the Carolina Reaper sauce, and also the blueberries. Now, this is an exciting time. Just the sheer fact that we've got to here. We've created successfully a shelf-stable Carolina Reaper hot sauce infused with blueberries, and it looked fantastic from the get-go. It's going to smell. It smells fantastic. So there's only one more thing left to do, and that is, well, I can't make a sauce and not test it. So let's check this out. Now, Smoke and Ed says a good sauce should drop out. And I don't know about you, but that is a very good drop, even with a pour. Coming back into the bottle, it drops well. There's a good spread on the mash there. I'll bring that over for you to see, but that there is just a good just wasted the sauce. Good consistency on the sauce all the way down the bottle. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm the son of a chunk, son of the chunky chili dude, and I have successfully grown Carolina Reapers from seed to sauce for your enjoyment. On with the heat. I'm going to say that and finish the season with a taste of the Sweet Death. Thank you so much for joining me. I look forward to seeing you in 2026. Have a very, very safe holiday. Have a wonderful new year. And don't do what I'm about to do unless you buy the bottle. Cheers. Oh, that is really good. The flavor of the blueberries just straight into the back of your throat, and then that Carolina Reaper just punch. That's a pretty damn good sauce. And here comes the hiccups. I'm the chunky chili dude's son of a chunk. On with the heat. See you next year. Catch you later. Whew. Oh.